It's representatives of the lake that make up the SPOA, right?
Right, the makeup of this, there's a couple that don't live on the lake, they're just residents of the community.
Okay. I guess my question is how come the SPOA wasn't considered as part of that?
So the SPOA is just the Shoreline Property Owners Association, so those are just people that live on the lake that are part of that association. The Lake Ecology Advisory Committee was formed as a group that would advise the Park District on lake ecology issues. Examples of what they had worked on was I believe it was 3 summers ago, they came to the conclusion we needed to do something about the vast growing problem with milfoil in the lake. Did some research, brought it to the Park District. The Park District vetted that out and spent roughly $70,000 to eradicate milfoil from the lake. So that was a suggestion that came from the Ecology Committee to do something, I'll say, drastic, to kind of put a problem to bed for a considerable time, which has been 3 years now. The other item that they worked on was having the boat stickers come to the Park District to sell. As part of that was to also generate additional revenue through the sale of those stickers by the users of the lake to implement a harvesting program that would include the purchase of a harvester as well as the Park District staff completing that work. In the past, we contracted it out, and we were pretty much at the mercy of the contractors as to their availability to come out and do the work. There was a lot of work that went into that, a lot of research. They did that and brought that to the Park District and to the city for the Park District and city to vet out and see if that was a good decision moving forward, and that was done. The Park Board back in 2024 formally recognized the Lake Ecology Advisory Committee as a advisory committee of the Park District. The city, when the committee brought the boat sticker topic to their attention, didn't really care to listen to a group that just thought this was a good idea because they weren't formally recognized by the Park District. So the board and the members of the Ecology Committee agreed to do this memo of understanding and to form a formal recognition of their group and their work. So, but they have no spending power, they have no decision-making abilities, they're just here to provide ideas to the district, for the board to consider.
Yeah, and I think to put a finer point on that, the SPOA has been around for over 50 years representing the lake and everybody around the lake, and has great concern about the ecology of the lake, and they were sidestepped by this, and then a new committee was created. And it's interesting because that new committee, the main 2 people are the SPOA members, Greg Koblinski and Bill Carville, that are basically doing all that work. So that's why this is on here tonight, is the right group in that MOU.
There, now we understand why it's here.
So is there a reason why the SPOA wasn't considered to be that advisory?
I think back then the SPOA wasn't really functioning that much. They kind of went dormant, I guess is the best way to put it. And some residents brought to the attention, why don't we start this committee. Mike Kane was one of the original people that came to us looking to do it. He was on a Lake Advisory Committee that existed a really long time ago. So it was kind of a rekindling of a committee that was around several years ago. But at that time, my understanding is SPOA was not very active.
They're active now though, right? I mean,
Very active.
Much more so than they were then, that's for sure.
What would you prefer that this letter was not to the Lake Ecology Committee, but was to the SPOA instead?
well, I mean, they're the ones that have all the intel on the lake, don't you think?
No, because the lake is not the property of those who live on the lake or are part of a owners association. The lake belongs to all of the residents.
Yes.
All of the residents.
Yes.
I would agree with that, right? But if there's an association that's been around for 50+ years, why wouldn't they be considered as the advisory board?
it's because there are more than one association. This is not a political thing. There should be non-lake owners or association members on this group. It should be a broad group.
Yes.
And it should be representative of the people who live within the park district, and we should.
Pay taxes.
I've always asked, well, not always, I have asked to see, a list of members of this committee. I would like to see when they meet, and if it's in person, or if it's not in person, I would like to see meeting notes. I would like this committee to be a little more accountable, because they're using our name, they're officially using our name. But I think they have done good work for the lake, and I think they've done good work. But I would like it to be more representative of the park district body, and I would like to see who's on it, and I would like to see when they meet, and I'd like to see what they do. Like any committee, anybody we endorse, this is the minimum we should ask of them.
Yes.
Is there gonna be a motion about this?
What are we moving on?
Well, we're gonna see if there's a motion, and then we can go around and talk about the motion. There's nothing to talk about unless there's a motion, right?
No, you can have a discussion, just have a discussion.
Okay, Commissioner, do you have anything to add? Everything to add?
How many, do we know how many households between the SPOA and its underlying CCPOA? How many households are part of that association?
About 300.
Not just on the lake.
Correct.
So it's the entire surrounding community.
Yes.
of the lake.
Actually, we're all the surrounding community.
Yeah.
We all use the lake, that's a big part of.
I'm paying the taxes. I'm a mile and a half away.
So I'm just trying to understand, the people on SPOA or the other, HOAs or whatever those are called, they can be on this Lake Ecology Advisory Committee. Anybody can join this, so I don't know why it should be the SPOA should be the ones linking us with the Crystal Lake Park with the Park District. Why can't we have this advisory committee? Whoever wants to be on it, so that it's not just the Lake SPOA's lake people.
Commissioner Jacobson?
I just like the idea of having people from the community, the eyes and ears of other people in the community, and what their views on the lake and possible things that we may be missing on the lake ecology and on the park district side. So having a cooperation, I think is important, and I believe the point that Kathy raised is, I would like to know, like, who some of these people are on this committee and what they're talking about, what they're doing, and it would be nice to have that.
So, I mean, Greg is the one that leads it, right? I mean, so he's, I've been to things where Greg comes and speaks, so he's pretty vocal. I just don't know if we don't recognize them as the.
Because that's a special interest group, and we're a park district.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
They're in an advisory role, right?
No, this is an advisory role here. We don't, no, that is not appropriate. It should be open to everybody, whether or not they are part of SPOA. And 300 homes, and we have what, did Hank just say?
48,000.
48,000 people. It's like a huge difference. It's like special club, everybody else. So no, it's not SPOA's job here.
Okay, I don't have anything for that.
Okay, is there any motions about this?
I'd like to make a motion that SPOA be the sole committee, having two committees. Way more than.
Speak into the mic, please.
I think having two committees is a waste. It just doesn't make sense. And the SPOA, which is not just people that live on the lakes, people that live off the lake.
So can the rest of
Pretty much stewards of the lake.
Can the rest of Crystal Lake join?
You can't make that motion, it's not on the agenda. agenda item is the number one understanding, that's it.
It's on the agenda.
But it's not on the agenda.
Number one understanding is on the agenda, that's it.
You can make that motion.
Okay, so the motion is made, is there a second?
I'm putting this on YouTube as soon as this is over.
The motion's been made, the motion's been seconded, can you call the roll?
Power grab.
Just to clarify, are we looking to dissolve the Lake Advisory Committee? Is that-
Shame on you.
Commissioner Jacobson?
Shame on you.
Commissioner Johnson? Commissioner Eastonson?
Yes.
Commissioner Cagle?
No.
Commissioner Heisler?
Yes.
Commissioner Hickey?
Boo! Shame on you. Power grab.
You guys all live on the lake?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah.
Can we all join the SPOA now?
Can you join the SPOA? Can the general public join the SPOA?
You guys are gonna be order in the room, the next item on the agenda.
Can a general person join the SPOA if they don't live on the lake?
The next item on the agenda.
Oh. We need an attorney. We need an attorney to represent us.